Alright, welcome back everybody to our market review of OverDress Set 1. Excuse me for kind of just like getting in your face there. Moving some stuff around in front of me. So Ange, we have a very interesting market here. This isn't typical that we see SP prices move like this. At least in the time that I played Vanguard. How about you? Have you seen SP prices like this, like fluctuate this hard for so many cards?
My only experience with SPs is with Bermuda Triangle, and usually those those settle at prices you would expect them to settle at, because there's only a few crazy people out there like myself that would actually buy SPs. So in this case, I've
Okay.
never seen.
So I've sorted them by lowest to highest in terms of their market value, and we can see what we have for listings here. Our market in TCG land in general has been crazy, especially since the past year. I expected no less. I think one of the things that I heard someone say at our locals was this game was going to be fairly cheap. And for the most part it is. But, and I told them before, Bushiroad doesn't spend a lot in terms of getting a lot of sets out to the market, similar to Japan. They feel a little bit more reserved. Coming from a white side, I for sure know that's true. And for Vanguard, I've seen it before in past sets. One of the luckier things that when it was for the past sets is that we had less players, so that just meant the availability was much wider, which kept prices stable. For our locals in general, we've seen pretty much a twofold increase in player base, which is incredible. It's nice to see. We see around from like 8 to 10 people at our locals. Now we have 20 since OverDress has come out. Our last tournament had 16 players, and before OverDress, it was around between 4 to 8. So it varied on just who wanted to come. So a lot more interest in the game, and that causes people to buy more. So we see that issue with a lot of buyouts. The second thing is the low stock coming into either your local game stores or to people that are buying them in general. Like you had to wait an extra week, right? I can't remember how long you had to wait for your case.
Yeah, pretty much a week.
Okay.
But that was FedEx fault.
But see, that's the shipping issues that we're facing in general. So I do have bad things with FedEx, but that's aside. So now moving to the cards themselves, we have Hyperspeed Robo Chevella Stud.
$5.75. Market price $6.65.
I think it's fair. This is one of those cards that aren't super staple as a four of. My personal preferences too. I only want to see like one of them in a game, and just because it has the act. If someone blows it up, sure, I'll find other ways to prison stuff. But for the most part, not really seeing too much intense interest into it. It could scale, but this is again one of those cards that probably won't. They might make better cards in the future. As we see in set 2, there's already better stuff for prisoning, so we may see some drop-offs with this in general, or maybe we'll see it still at a 1 or 2 up as a tech.
For me personally, I do play 2 as well in my deck currently, but I feel like his value is going to rise because there are more ways to prison stuff.
Ooh.
Because he requires 3, right, I believe,
yep,
to
3.
do the draw effect. Right now, you can barely get 2 off if your opponent's playing around it. playing smart, or if you're not playing against like Magnolia or something, and that makes it hard to use his abilities. His ability's good. It's activate. You can throw him down to boost with, throw him down to do whatever, and then you can use his ability later, which is the theory behind it. But the fact that people are playing around Prison makes him not that good.
Alright.
But I buy some.
Buy some.
That's me.
I invest
buy
too.
some. If you're gonna play Prison, buy some. You might need a playset.
Alright. Next up, Painkiller Angel. Alright. In our base rarity review, we saw that at 65 cents.
Mm-hmm.
916 for the SP version. This is a very large increase.
She was $7 last week. So it is a $2 increase, and the market price is $8. So people were buying over. People were buying. Why?
Bastion control.
Bastion. As new cards come out, people are, or I guess we'll say the Japanese people are figuring out that a 1-for-1 is pretty good. Throw it down, draw a card, get to your persona, get to your PGs quicker. It does. You do lose consistency in terms of checking grade 3s, but if it helps you get to your persona and stuff, I guess
I'd play it.
Yeah, I play it too. Although you do have to sacrifice, I don't know what to sacrifice for it, but
You'll find the room.
you find room for it. It's like playing a 44 card deck instead of 46, or instead of 42 card deck.
But do you think this is a waifu tax that we're seeing? It's like, fair price.
I think it's a fair price.
All right. Well, we'll agree. We'll agree. All right. Looks like we have the first part of the right chain for Zorga. I like hesitate to say that they're the first part of the right chain because you don't necessarily need the specific zero. You could run the Soiki one for the Magnolia. And maybe Festival Collection, you just pick up that SP instead because it may look cuter. But it's here. People are buying it, especially at $10 at the market value. Right now, people have it low at $7 just because you only need one if you want it.
Can't play it in premium, or you can play it in premium, but you would be disadvantaged because you won't be drawing if you go first. I don't know much else to say.
Alright, so we'll just move on. There's very little to say about this, so we'll go to Rancor.
If you like it, buy it.
Rancor chain, $12.33 market price. Right now, lowest is $14.72. Popularly as a one-up. It only has a very strong Vanguard skill, as its rearguard skill only gets a 2k power.
Mm-hmm.
So a 10 booster. At the same time, there are other 10 boosters that don't require you to play in order to get that. So it kind of feels like that power boost was kind of a missed opportunity to make something like cooler. I don't know what it could have been, but maybe something else. That way it could have retained a better staple of thing.
Think, man. Why would they make a card that's really good on the rearguard circle when they just you invest into the chain for now, and then they'll power creep the card forward. So you'll still have to play the chain, but then there'll also be other ones later that you have to buy.
No.
See? Market. Yeah, good job, Bushiroad.
Oh. Well, not much to say on that other than that. We'll have the bear. Very, very plenty of listings.
Same reason as I said before. Magnolia needs work.
Yeah. More counterchargers. Play 2 of $13. I think that's a fair price.
Yep.
I think it could go lower.
It would. I think it will definitely go lower.
Especially if they don't make like countercharger cards that are amazing. This is one of those things that might just get phased out.
Mm-hmm.
As the only countercharger right now for Suikia is the
order.
As the order. Blow 2 things up, countercharge, draw. All right, and now we have
Tensha Stead.
$10.
$10.
What are you thinking here?
$10.
Counterblast to get your persona right into hand. Well, you have to sack
You
it,
still
but
have to sack it, and you pay a counterblast as well.
I have noticed that I've played the Nirvana deck that was running this as I think a 3 or 4 of. It feels really bad, especially if you don't get any heals, because the deck aggressively wants to use 2 counterblasts each turn. This just makes it so that you have to choose whether to Nirvana if you didn't Persona Red, or not use Valiente. And scaring people with using Valiente is pretty strong, especially when you keep him at 33. Swing, okay, pitch card, bam, swing again. And especially if you can get like double crit on him, make them waste their hand a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
So, does this scale with the deck and interest in investing as an SP?
At the moment, I would not buy a 10.
Okay.
That would be just me, though. Until we see something that can countercharge. Because there are too many good abilities in Nirvana that, maybe in Eugene, but in Nirvana, you got your Nirvana, you got your Arcs, you got your Valiente, what else? You got your,
That's it.
that's it. That's already 3. Each using 1.
So, well, we'll have to see. So, we'll leave that aside. Moving on to one of the more interesting fluctuations in pricing. Eugene. Last week I saw it at $10-15,
Yes.
and its market price right now is $13.95, with its lowest listing at $28. Interesting enough, a few days ago, I think it was hovering around $60
Yes.
for. I don't know. I can't honestly tell whether it's just like hype, because it seems like a very, from our own personal group, it seems like it's hype. But otherwise, looking at the Vanguard Facebook groups, this looks to be hyped as well. Is this the husbando tax now?
No, I think it's just cheap if you got money to blow.
Okay. Nothing analytical on this?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what else to say. Eugene's not that good. Maybe in the future he will, but maybe people are just investing. Maybe people are just kind of blowing money on it because it's so cheap. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to see if the market reacts again to this and drops it even more, and see if people will buy it out again. I don't know. It's one of those. It's only 6 listings, so it could potentially drop down more, especially when Set 1 drops for its reprint in August. This is one of those cards that are. We'll have to just wait to see what happens in the future. But for now, I would hold off on maybe getting these at $28. Maybe back at market price would be more better.
Yes.
All right, Inheritance, Maiden, Hendrina. I don't know.
It's an amazing card for Zolga.
I think so too. 20. I think that's fine. I think it's having low listings. It's also in that trend of Stoichia and Dark States being bought out a lot. So good cards are good.
Nothing much to say.
Nothing much.
Steam Battler, Gun Ram. Now this is the price I expected him to be at.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait. Well, let's go from last week. Last week he was at $15.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much where market price is at now. They're all of a sudden all gone. Now we have all these listings. 35 being the lowest.
He's a good card. Play him in both decks.
I think one of the things to note is that he doesn't have the misprint unlike his non-SP part.
Yes.
No persona icon.
Means he's weaker.
Means he's weaker. I mean, we said what we can say about it. I think as an investing card, I think people missed out that didn't buy him at 15.
Mm-hmm.
I think, as we have the reprint, maybe this will drop down to maybe 20 at the lowest that I can see. If it goes lower than that, then...
well, it's a 4 out. So.
Yeah.
Hard to say.
Yeah. I'm still saying probably 20 would be the lowest. We'll have to see if set 2 and progressively into set 3 when those reveals come around, if there's going to be a lowered interest in the gun ram. But we're just going to have to wait. Investing now is not the best time. We're not advisors, so we can't advise you to do or not do. But for those that got it at 15, great. For those that didn't and are looking to get them, you'll just have to wait and see if that value pays off later.
Pretty sure in that other video we told him to buy all the triple Rs.
Yeah, we did.
So that means we're advisors.
Alright, let's go with the other maiden. Lena.
The Magnolia effect. She's usually only played in Magnolia. I guess you could play her in Zolga, but she can only be the ability can only be procced from hand. So yeah.
This has a very high listings, and looks like it's being sold at lower than market value, or a market average. I'll say market average from now on. I think that's an easier term.
Yeah. Like.
Is it worth? Is it worth investing into?
Maybe $10 I'd buy it at.
Okay.
But probably not 13.
A little too high.
Yeah, if you enjoy playing Magnolia, I mean, you'll need it. For now. Just because the Counter Blast sucks, but it's the Soul Blast you want. It's another way to get your old Magnolias out of your soul, so you can recur the Persona ride using Ghost Chase. So, for that sole reason, she's good.
I mean, she was $2. This is $13 for its SP, so I think that's a comparable increase.
Mm-hmm.
Marjorie, though, that had a big increase. Marjorie was like, what, $1?
Mm-hmm. Or no. Oh, yeah.
Now we're seeing it at 17 market value, 15 lower. I mean, this only has that one relevance in Barrow Magnus, right?
No, she's Bruce.
Oh, she's Bruce.
Yeah,
I apologize. Wrong deck. Relevance in only one deck, and that would be the Bruce deck. Well, I felt like I've seen her be played in...
But it says your Vanguard must be... if you're in... something with Bruce. Yeah, Final Rush.
Yeah. Never mind. Then
Look.
I might have been wrong and just, like, had hallucination.
Barrel Magnus has the rare support, grade 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But she is a good card in Bruce at the moment. Like, trading a card on the board for draw and a soul charge is, I think it's just too good. Power up too. Not as much as the Colossus, but she gets you that draw, so maybe if you don't, murder them this turn, that might save you. Solid card.
Alright. Invest? No? Yes? I mean, if you're playing Bruce, and you're like a big Bruce fan.
I'm a big Bruce fan. Yeah, I'd get it. 15 is a little...
High,
but I'll probably still get it. But if I were playing Bruce, I would have pre-ordered it at like $10 already. But if you're a little late to the party, it's the best you can do, probably.
Alright. Cardinal Fang, Phoebe.
Fabi. Starter, same as the other guy.
It is at much higher.
Yeah, because, artwork looks nice. Reminds us of Chaos Breaker Dragon of yore. Like you said earlier too, Orphis is gonna get pretty good. I did sell mine at $19 as well, so.
Ooh. Good investment, or like if you're. So this ones are interesting for starters. This is more of like flavor, right?
Yep.
If you're wanting the SP out.
Mm-hmm. If you want, just do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just do it.
I think it can only go higher.
Yeah.
All right. Hex Orb. All right.
5 listings, $15. How many? Let's see how many they have in stock. Listings.
See one guy. Whoa,
18.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
What the
whoa.
heck? I think these. Oh.
Oh,
I
this is.
see. Yeah.
Oh, he's trying to like.
It's actually $19. Oh no, that skews some of our reviews then.
Okay. $20.
$20. Probably would have been cheaper if we bought it earlier.
Man. I mean, like, do you think this is a worth that one? You would get it for the deck to be better in the later half of the OverDress era, and two, the SP version, worth, not worth.
If you're a big OTT fan, maybe. I guess I'm a pretty big OTT fan. I wouldn't get it, so
No.
you have to think about that.
Whoa. All right, well, not much to say other than that then. I'm not a big OTT fan. Not my personal favorite. I do think that $20 is a pretty good price for a boss grade 3. As you know, we'll see some very interesting price spikes here coming up. All right, now we'll talk about SP triggers. This is our first one, right?
Mm-hmm.
That could be crazy. All right, Abyss Temptation. If you get the money, do it.
Yeah, just do it.
Do you think all of them will be $20 a pop for borderless triggers?
I believe, unless we get crits with abilities, they will stay at least 20, I think. Around 20. Because during B era, trial decks came with foil triggers. Not full art borderless, but just foil. And they were sitting at $20 to $30 for the entire series. Yeah.
That's
so
a
I
lot.
think these will stay here too.
Okay. Nice. All right, Barrel Magnus.
Okay, he jumped a lot.
So, I think we're seeing this before. I think he was around between the $15 to $20 mark last week.
Yep.
This is one of those things that if you didn't invest and get them early on, you're out of luck.
Yep.
$40. That's big. That's big. One of the interesting things that I do see at our locals is that sometimes people will try to go off of market price. Generally, I would probably tend to do that for non-SP cards, unless like the jump is that big. But for SP cards, one of my big things at least is I'll go towards what the market is currently at its lowest. So, I guess you missed out, and not much you can do about it until the reprints come out. And who knows what that'll be like.
Once the reprints come out, I mean, people will start throwing them on the on the listings for lower and lower and lower, and eventually they'll price fight each other, and eventually it will drop down back to around 20-25 again. But that'll be for a while, and so if you want it now, then you just gotta pay.
Yeah, pay now or
pay
just wait for the reprint, and once you see the listings just keep dropping and dropping, you just go when you feel like it. I have a hard time feeling that it would go back to 20. My gut reaction to this is 25 is the lowest. And I guess at that point, maybe just buy then. But at 40, maybe you hold on unless you really like Barrel Magnus enough. All right, one of the more controversial ones.
Mr. Bulbamine.
Bulbamines. Oh my goodness. I bought these for $18 a piece. What happened here?
Well, it's a key card. Key card in both decks.
Yep.
I don't know much more to say. Like, price is 20, that's about the same price as a regular one right now. Supply demand.
What do we got for listings here?
Supply demand. If you got it in stock, you can price whatever you want. Whatever you want. 0% two sales.
We got this guy going at 90. We'll go with the big guy here at 80.
Yep, that's one of the reputable ones.
We got Sunshine at 76. Oof, man, just these people are trying to get rid of them, but these guys are in for the long haul. I think they'll get them too for these prices.
These prices, I doubt. Maybe around 50, I could see someone taking a bite. But if you've been watching the prices and stuff and seeing where they've settled at, I think a lot of people wouldn't go for this private price.
Oh, we'll have to see how this market continues to react. I mean, it just takes one person, right?
Okay, think about this. Like, if you're gonna buy the SP, you would have done it already.
Right.
Like, so this is probably not gonna sell at that
But what
price.
about the people that come in late?
Well, those guys are just out of luck. They're gonna buy the $20 regular ones.
I mean, like, my thing for the SPs in this was that I don't like the rule texts that are in some of them. Like we'll see coming up here.
About flavor I'm talking about the triggers.
No, the rule texting. I mean, the triggers have them too, but as an example, Rouge has a rule text in it that says, when you prison something, it goes into the prison order.
Oh.
That parentheses is cut out in the SP, which I love.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
I never noticed that. Or maybe it's just for these.
I think it was just for the triple rares and the triggers.
Yeah, triggers are completely empty. Even
the triggers
foil ones, I think, don't have it.
Yeah, they're just like nothing's there. It's beautiful. So one of those things that you'll have to see. We'll have to see what set one reprint would look like in August, and how many of these will come out. So the hope is probably maybe it stays high. Not 66 high. My gut says 35, 40. Is where it'll be at the lowest, and then maybe settle out at 50, 55. I mean, it's a must-have if you're going to use them, and especially if you're going to get SPs. That just might be the price that it just sits at. Our SP prices tend to skew higher the longer it's out, especially if they're staples. So we'll see what happens later on. But Rouge here. This was I guess kind of to be expected. I think that I don't know if you can even see it closer, but there's no rule texting out here. Unlike its Jumbo Rare counterpart where it has the parentheses in there in the white box. I bought mine at 20. Good price. I think that's the price it should be at. 44 is kind of the expected price for kind of a waifu tax with low supply or low supply inventory. There might be a lot of them out there, but not a lot for sale, which clearly shows here is we only have 4, and if someone wants to buy them, you're looking close to $200. I mean, with tax it'll be above $200, but you're stuck at that. It is a 4.0, so if you're looking to SB it out, you're gonna have to probably wait for set 1's reprint again. Like we keep saying, set 1's reprint coming out in August. It's gonna be very interesting to see how these SP prices fluctuate. However, I think that's a fair price for it to sit at for such low supply.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Take it away with Eden.
Eden, I think it's the same thing as the Rouge. 6 listings, $22. I think Eden's gonna be it's a staple card probably for the rest of Bruce's, playtime or ride line, I guess, because all the future cards are gonna be supporting the boys. Literally. On hit, kill something. On hit to rigor, kill another rigor. You can slam them into Fasado and then kill it all in. Dude, that's crazy. Restand, get a crit. What more could you ask for?
That's pretty good.
Yeah. That's just in terms of skill-wise, but it's the same thing as the Rouge in terms of inventory. Bruce is pretty hyped. You know, the anime made him pretty hype. He's okay right now, I think, but from what I've seen, he will get better in the future. So I don't know much else to say about him.
Okay. People who wanted him at the beginning already got him.
Yeah, I got him already, so they're gooch.
All right, now the second grade 2 raid line for Orfist.
Cubicia? Same as the starter, I think.
Just flavor.
Yeah, flavor. I mean, I think he's a good rear guard. He gets 5k if you're in the second world.
Dark Abyssal?
Dark Abyssal. When a world.
Abyssal Dark Knight.
Yeah, +5. So he's a beater. I think he might get power crept with the next set because of the new
grade 2
2s and 1s.
Yeah, I think like you only play him at the raid line.
Yeah. So I think he will fall eventually.
Yeah. Even then,
I think he'll fall.
Yeah, I think he's like gone.
Yeah. You just were playing for the ride line.
Yeah. Until something else better comes out. Because this has like no other Vanguard skill other than +5 power.
Mm-hmm.
Which...
And you have to put a world order.
Yeah.
Oh, you choose one you get. It's okay. So you can play him, do the search with a 1, or is it the 1 that searches? Somehow searches.
Yeah, the 1 searches the order.
Yep.
Yeah, I think this is one of those cards that just gets like swept out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it swings only for 10. Like, if I give it to itself...
Yeah, you can give it to yourself.
Oh, okay, so it's just a 15 swing. Very awkward guard to guard. So most times they will just not guard it. Because you're doing just a 1 pass instead of a no pass like other 10k bodies.
Yep.
So, we'll have to see. It is probably high that'll be crept up, but, you know, that's only speculation. So, I mean, if you already got him, you had him, good. Probably hold off until reprint and see if it drops. I'm going to fairly assume once set 1's reprint drops, we will see set 3 previews, and that just might be the break point, or we could see a stop of Orfist's support for something else, and then it'll be swung back in later. So we'll have to see. It's one of those things that...
I think they've already confirmed that they will support these red lines for at least a year, so these will be what we have for the rest of the year.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Oh.
Because there's the product release schedule. They showed 1 new ride line coming in. Obviously, the Bermuda stuff is its own thing, so we don't count that. But 1 new ride line, 2 new ride lines in set 2, and then 1 new one in 3, I believe.
Oh, only 1. Okay, that's
yeah.
interesting.
So far. Because it's 1 trial deck. So.
Oh.
1 start deck.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right.
So at least 1 new one, but we don't know if they're gonna... For sure they'll support these guys though.
Okay, so still more support for Arthas. If you have him stuff, good. Just wait for set 1 reprint. Fasado. Now...
I'm surprised he's 30.
Yeah, me too. His regular's to 20.
You know, I kind of would pay...
Oh,
if I was just missing 1 Fasado and I needed to complete my set, I would pay 30. Would you pay 30?
I would pay 30.
Yeah.
I think this is too good of a card not to buy. 30, 40.
Okay. Yeah.
Sugar Broken's interesting. I like their pricing sometimes. Sometimes it feels a little bit higher.
They don't price to sell right away. They're pricing for the long run.
Yep.
I think that's pretty smart.
Yep. I think 40 is probably where it should top at. But people that already have them, and it shows in the pricing. That's why it's not like spiking. Alright, here.
Black Tears Husk Dragon. That's another Black Tears Husk Dragon. That's another ride chain. He gets 5k if you play an order. The ride line effect's pretty good.
Yeah.
You salvage a order card.
Correct.
$26.
I think that's fair pricing.
Yeah. I don't know if they play more than 1 in the Zolga deck though. Because you can always just recur him.
You could. Maybe another, just 1, 2. Maybe yeah, as a 3 of like 1 on the right lane, 2 in the deck.
Yeah, I would play 1 of them in my Magnolia deck.
I think he makes more magical numbers. I've seen in our locals that people play the grade 3 version, where if there's an order in the bind, it's at 18.
Oh, the Aquaforce guy?
Yeah. I see good and bad uses for it. You get more consistent awkward numbers with the 15 versus the 18. Because generally when I've played the deck, um, it kind of feels bad putting like an 8, the kind of the insect guy that gives +5 to anything behind it, because then you're swinging at an awkward number that could be guardable. And
You put insect guy behind him and you give power to him. He hits for 28.
28, 36, and then Persona Raid 46. I'd rather have it hit for 48. But if you swapped them out for Tear Husks, you lose that +3 power. You're at 43, and you're still hitting that same magic number for a card that has a shield value. So that's kind of why I'm very hesitant on wanting to like the grade 3 over the grade 2. Behind a 10 booster, I think it's phenomenal if it had a 10 booster behind it, but the deck doesn't play 10 boosters. It only plays generically the deck only plays like that insect that +5. I mean, it's got good pros and cons. I will say the grade 3 is more consistent, as you only need to have the one bind, while for TRS you need to play in order each turn to get that +5. So, I mean, you take it as a will. I mean, you're playing Zorga, you're gonna have an order.
You're playing orders both ways. If you're not, then you're not doing it right.
Well, I tell you, I think Ghost Chase is one of the most underrated cards ever. And you play it, and it's really surprising that it's common. I don't know if they thought that bouncing back your Persona, your Overtrigger, your PG,
other unplayabilities. I don't know.
Yeah, and because of the timing of it, you can do shenanigans. Versus like you play it down, get +something +5 after the attack, then bounce. It would have probably been what they were maybe initially going for, but just that bouncing as the attack occurs, I think is really strong. All right, now to the interesting boys here.
PGs. You can cover them all together, I guess.
I mean, we got
35, 30, 36, and they're all around the same price for market.
Yeah, Keter, Dark States, Dragon Empire. We swap over to Suekia.
Why Suekia?
Ooh. All right. We can slow down here. So,
Nazida.
we'll take this all into consideration. Let's add in Volatile Dragon then too.
Oh.
All right.
I understand Volatile, but what's going on there?
All right. Well, we look at the other ones. Dark States, Keter, Dragon Empire at $30. I think maybe people are buying them slowly. Versus like me, that would just drop it all at one point and just like buy them up at 25. And I think that's what happened here with Planar Prevent Dragon. I wish I had a cooler name.
I thought it was the Brandgate one, honestly. Planar Prevent Dragon.
This was sitting at $25 a few days ago. As of today, today is May 31st.
Pretty sure mine's at 25 on eBay still. Go buy it, guys.
Go buy it. Seeing it being here, it doesn't surprise me when they're this low of inventory. I did say that some people was like, if you're gonna buy a Perfect Guard, if you're playing Zorga or Magnolia, buy it now. It's only just gonna get sold out, and we're down to 2 listings left. Don't know. I don't know what to say about that.
These are the 2 least played decks at the moment too. So
Stoichia and Brandgate.
Stoichia. Brandgate, it's popular because
Stoichia. How do you say it? Stoichia.
I don't know. That's the right way.
Stoichia.
Violet Dragon. It's to be expected. It's Brandgate.
It is Brandgate. You're paying that tax for the waifu deck, right? And the Orphis.
You're paying Chaos tax and waifu tax.
Not enough said. If you already got them for 25 or 24, good. If you didn't, wait for the reprint. There was an interesting tidbit from Producer San from the
actual producer San
from the Cardfight team, who heads the OverDress division. Actually, all of
Vanguard.
All of Vanguard,
All
yeah.
of Vanguard, because they're working on all of them right now, in V Series and Premium too.
That perfect guards are getting reprinted in some way or fashion. Don't know what that means. If they're gonna make them as a common in the future,
Probably alternate art.
alternate art. I do hope for like a waifu version of this. That'd be cool. But this is one of those ones where it's like, I guess if you pay the $25, you might get your monies back later. Paying more, it's going to vary depending on what comes out.
The important thing to take away is that they said they will not be printing any new perfect guards. So these are the perfect guards we'll be working with for at least a year.
I do want a Valhalla Dragon that's like a waifu edition. That'd be cool.
Sure. Maybe in the lyrical set.
I mean, Megiddo. Let's they changed it to a waifu.
Yeah, because they knew it would make money.
Same thing. All right, but let's go back to the top here. Cardinal Prima.
Yield trigger, $26.
It did drop.
Yeah.
It was 40 before. I think this is where we're gonna see a plateau.
Yeah, just buy 4 if you want it right now.
Yeah.
Nothing much to say.
All right, here Verena Arcs. 31.
At 31. If I played Verena, if I was a Dragon Empire main, yeah, I would pick up 4 of them.
To note, it doesn't have that border etching look that the regular version has.
Yep.
So I don't know whether that's a downgrade. It feels like a downgrade to me. I have played whites where they've had like gold foil or gold borderings.
Oh my gosh, we had that in Vanguard one time too. Remember Legion?
Yeah.
We had the Legion gold foil.
Oh yeah, that was
if
really
you single
cool.
sleeve and you were about to draw the card, you would know that it was a Legion.
Because it was thick.
It was very thick. It was stupid thick.
I loved it.
I don't know.
So I mean, I guess at 31, it looks to be an okay price.
25 to 30, yeah.
It's just staple around there.
It's not going to get replaced anytime soon unless the next arena is just better. And I don't think they'll make it just better.
Alright. We're going to hold off on the Overture and just go to the next SP.
Yeah, it looks like all the full art triggers are selling around 25, 30, 25-ish.
Yeah, so we buy them now.
Just buy them.
Now we'll talk about triggers. We got a Dark State set around the 28, 30, 29.
30.
Grand Gates at 30. Suikia's at
30.
Dragon Empire and 45. Now, is that to be expected?
Yeah, deck's just better.
Okay.
Deck's just better. I think SP Overtures at 30 is probably, I think, the perfect spot.
Yeah, I think so
because
too.
you only need one. You invest into it, be done. Yeah. And you're just gonna pay a little more tax with Keter because they're open.
Now, I'm worried for one reason.
What?
It is confirmed that set 1 was going to be the only time they're printing these overtriggers.
Mm-hmm. What are you worried about?
If the market starts running low, these will go high.
But just SPs though.
For just SPs.
We don't care about SPs as long as the regular
But this is the SP video.
Okay. SPs are not necessary to make the deck function.
Right.
So it doesn't matter.
Well, what is the SP video? We're talking about it for people that want the SPs.
If you want the SP, then just go buy it.
Go buy it. No, I mean buy it now.
Yeah.
It can only go high.
Yeah. You only go higher now. Okay, why would you agree?
We'll be fine. Moving on. Alden. 40?
40. A little pricey. Maybe 30. 30 is probably the better price for it. It's going to get replaced potentially with the new guy.
So just wait?
I would just wait.
Alright.
I would just wait.
Enough said. Good skill, but gets outscaled by cards that use less counterblast. Agree? He uses 2.
He uses 2. It's like a trade-off. Do you want to hold off on your first turn to burst them, or do you want the second turn for a burst, but then you use less resources? So, like, Bushiroad's the producer is making you think about your choices. Because I sometimes don't feel comfortable going to 2 damage when I first grade 3 right because I might just die the next turn to something 2.
Yeah.
I like staying at 1, but then I need 2 for Alden. See, choices. Or you just get blown up by an overtrigger and just go back to the lobby or something. I don't know.
All right, Noid at 26. Ooh.
Yeah, he's kind of pricey. The market's 33.
But you only need 1.
You only need 1. He doesn't do anything else, does he?
He grabs you the order.
On rearguard?
On Vanguard.
I mean, what does he do on rearguard?
+2 if you have...
Oh, just like the other... Just like the Zolga one. Yeah. Just 1.
Yeah, but this is consistent. It's either on attack or boost. It's a 10k. So you can rush early.
Just like the Dragon Dancers too.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's fair price. You just get them.
Yeah.
Anything above 30, I don't think it was too worth it. I'll play the regular.
Unless you're a collector, go for it.
Exactly. Pixie Elegy at 33 market, 38.
The artwork is very cool.
It is.
I think that's why it's so expensive. Waifu tax in there too, I think.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get that bigger. Oh,
yeah, it's
perfect.
Yeah, waifu tax. I mean,
it looks pretty. It is waifu tax. Enough said. Alright, here. Now we're down to some
actual units.
Yeah, we get the Valiente.
Valiente at 50.
50.
I think people were just buying it out. That's all.
Okay.
I wouldn't pay 50 for it. 35, 30. Yeah, probably.
I would pay 30 for it. Anything more, I'm not seeing too much investment into that. I could be wrong. There could be other stuff that says ride over another grade 3.
Because Valiente might be probably the first thing to get replaced going down the line, I'd say. Because he has a cool skill, but I think
it feels like too much of an investment into that card in terms of its skill, right?
You're throwing down your Trickstar, maybe your other arena, and then this card, and then it just gets blown up, and then you're just like, damn, I just lost 3 cards in one go.
I mean, Prison says I get to triple drive.
Yeah, and they all get split up. Yep. Yeah,
30.
probably 30, 35, maybe 35 if you're a big fan.
Okay.
Mr. Zolga.
Zorga.
I took him Zolga.
This is the most interesting, besides Orphis, most interesting one that has spiked in its SP pricings. Right at the gate, its SP was around the $50 mark.
Yeah, I think it's just because of the artwork.
The artwork's really cool.
That's all
You think it is?
Yeah.
I'm thinking that the skill is also carrying it to its price point.
Yes. The skill is definitely carrying it too because it has great potential.
The best potential.
Yes.
It has the best single unit potential out of all cards. And I think the Prison has the best overall archetype potential. Because these are 2 different control decks. One says I play 2 spells at once. The other one says I control your board and maybe your hand.
I think the princesses are more like I control your counterblocking.
No, that's it. I mean, it's like a very powerful field control, right? Because you want to deny triple drive, but do you want to deny them enough that you're starving for resources? I mean, depends on the deck, right?
Depends on what you have in your deck, what you can throw down, how much commitment you can make without losing out. There you go. I mean, Zorga, very good card, very pretty art.
You get them. I mean, this is the price you pay, and I think it's a fair price too.
Yeah.
I think low 50 is probably where you want to buy. But 60, I think people that really want to play the deck, really want to SP it out, I think 60, they'll pay for it.
Yep.
Now, Orphis.
I think this card's overpriced.
I think so, too.
Honestly, it's just the remnants of Chaos Breaker that's getting everyone hyped over it. But it plays nothing like Chaos Breaker. He doesn't give hope and then despair. He just takes out 2, shadow dudes and then gives them, I don't know.
3 shadow dudes.
3 shadow dudes and then gives them, a blunt weapon and then just beats your opponent down.
I mean, the simplest decks do tend to be the most leaned on, right?
Yeah.
Because people don't want to
Consistency.
think.
Oh, yeah, the two. I was thinking of competitiveness, but yeah.
I mean, even competitive, like looking at OverDress's competitive nature, minusing over triggers, right? You want a simple deck that can consistently just force your opponent to throw cards away.
Yes.
This does it. Keeps you hand control. I think the 83 at the lowest price point right now. I think I saw it around $35-$40 at first.
I think that was the first week because that was when we were just going off of like Japanese pricing, but
Yeah.
we can't go off Japanese pricing because they have way more inventory than we do.
Yeah. So we'll see if this is an overprice.
I would say so right now.
But in the future, if we see a lot of better support, I think that just might be the norm. Like even more so than its market price being at 65.
Yeah, from what I've seen, token manipulation, I guess you would call it, would be something it has potential for. Right now, I don't like them. That's just my opinion. Take or leave it.
Yeah. Well, guess with that we've done the SP part, and that is it. Yeah. So that is, all we can say for now. Until set 2.
Basketball collection.
Basketball collection. Oh, that's that first.
It's just 10 cards, so we'll be done in like 10 minutes. And like, cause like 9 out of 10 cards are bad anyways.
SPs. That's a lot of SPs.
SPs are gonna be interesting because it depends on how much we have again with inventory. Because in Japan they're only about $20, but here maybe 30, 40 per.
Oh, get your wallets ready.
Yep, it's already sold out too. So if you're looking to get some, you're
out of luck.
You're out of luck.
So you're just gonna have to wait to see what the market holds. And even then, I think, based on how popular certain units are here, clearly tells how Festival Collection will go on TCG. Now, I could be wrong. I do want to be wrong in hopes that I can snag some without having to like wait until like 2-3 a.m. Maybe we'll start spam posting. But I'll have to wait.
You know how I buy my SPs for cheap?
How?
You go to Ideal.
No secrets. We're not sponsored.
You go to a website that has pre-orders up a week before, and on the Friday before the release, you hit refresh. That's it.
That's it.
You can edit it out. No worries. You just like beat me up.
Oh, okay. All right. And with that, that is the end of our video. So do like, comment, subscribe, and enjoy the rest of your day. You have anything to say, Ange?
I hope Mr. Producer Son frees Ange from the ban list. She did nothing wrong. That's all.
Free Ange.
Free Ange. I'll change my name once she's freed.
All right. All right. Bye.